Hello and welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. We'll be looking at some stories, Nigerian stories this evening, and our major focus will also look at the Champions League game match the 7th that will be coming up tonight. We looked at the results of games played yesterday in the UEFA Champions League match the 7th and also the table. Probably we'll be bringing up the table again this evening. Then we'll look at the fixture, and also one Europa League game was played last night, and then one other fixture will be coming up today. These and many more on the show, but let's begin far away from Malaysia, where the Nigerian cricket under-19 women team, the Yellow Greens as they are called, really did well. They tried their best. They did all they can against South Africa, but it wasn't really the kind of result they wanted. But they despite that loss to South Africa, they have made it through to the Super 6 of the competition. That is the ICC Under-19 Cricket Women's World Cup. So the Nigerian team, they lose to South Africa, but still advanced to the Super 6 of the ICC Under-19 Women's World Cup. That is, they will be playing another top nation in the Super 6. Two of them, they'll be playing against England. When it comes to cricket in the world, England is another top country. Well. We did the unthinkable against the New Zealander. We can also still do that offset against England. Who says they can't do that? Definitely, they've already qualified. It was just a battle of who tops the group. That is between South Africa and Nigeria. So Nigeria coming second behind South Africa, who tops the group. That is Group C. But now it's going to be a battle against England in the Super 6. So for the Nigerian girls, they lost. You can see the result on the screen. 41 runs they lost despite the delay, that is rain, delayed that game. Since the commencement of this competition, it has always been one delay or the other, and the rain in that country, it's raining weather this time around in Malaysia, and has always been one thing that has disrupted all of the games played so far in this particular competition. But so far so good for the Nigerian girls. I believe they will be preparing themselves to take on the English women's team, junior women's team, when they meet in the Super 6. So congratulations to the girls, and congratulations to the Nigeria Cricket Federation making history, qualifying to the next Super 6 of this competition. Our male team, when they qualified, when they went to the World Cup, they didn't even finish from the group. So kudos to the girls, and it's a thumbs up for them. They've actually made history, first by beating New Zealand in their second group game. I don't know if Canis is ready, so that we'll look at this together. Okay, when Canis is ready, he will be joining up on the show. So like I said, let's for the Nigerian cricket Yellow Greens under-19 women's team, well, a thumbs up to you girls. We are still backing you in the Super 6. We look forward to good outing for you all right there in Malaysia. Coach Sarah and Blessing A team leading the charge at that competition. All right, let's leave cricket and quickly look at the round leader game, football now, where the International Federation of Football History and Statistics has ranked our own darling Nigerian MPFL club, that is Rivers United, as the best 26th team among Africa's elite club. So for Rivers United, they are now ranked 26th in that ranking. That is the International Federation of Football History and Statistics. Why? If you look at over the years, for the past 5, 6, 7 years, okay, let's take it back 10 years, Rivers United has always been a top club in Nigeria and also on the continent of Africa. Remember what that is when he was governor, Wike did with this team. They did so well under Wike, and they are still doing well, even with all of the little support. This support they are getting, they are still getting the support, but we can't compare the support they get from when Yosan Wike was the governor, and now that we have Fubara. But Fubara is still doing his own. We know what is going on in that state. So maybe just when Fubara is settled completely, we might still see him turning things around for Rivers United. But despite that, they are doing well in the Nigerian scene. That is in the Nigerian Premier Football League. They are ranked 26th. And if you ask me, your guess is as good as mine. The North African teams are topping that with Al Ahly of Egypt, Zamalek of Egypt, and Pyramids. All of these three teams coming in the position of first, second, and third. While Wydad Casablanca of Morocco occupies the 25th position, followed by Al Rivers United, who are 26th. Menema Union occupies the 27th position. Stade de Tunisien of Tunisia occupies 28th position, while Al Hilal Omdurman of Sudan is on the 29th position, and Jaliba completed the top 30 teams. So for Rivers United, if you look at the investments over the years, that is what has actually put them on that position. So we are looking forward to see that Rivers United do well on the continent and also in the Nigeria Premier Football League. All right, I have Canis joining me this evening again on the sports program, Sports Update. Canis, welcome to Sports Update on Trust TV.
Thank you, Fash, for having me. Good evening.
All right, straight up, our cricket team, quickly, before we go straight to the other story, just one or two about the girls. They lost 41 runs, they lost to the South Africans.
In the cricket?
Yeah.
Is it the under-19 cricket?
Yes.
But are you surprised?
In a way,
I mean,
I'm not you guys made mention of these on the show, talking about South Africa and Nigeria. Definitely, South Africa is a top country.
Yeah, when it comes to cricket, it's always been their game. In the world stage, India, South Africa, England, Australia, New Zealand, these guys they've always been there. So I think we are. It's one of those sports where we are growing. We're still really growing. So at this stage, it's all about them remaining competitive. You know, when they meet great teams like South Africa at this level, they should just compete. You know, so that it won't just be trashing. They will make impact in the competition and build from there. So I don't have any problem at all if they are losing to South Africa, because it's really their game and they've invested so much in cricket and they've gone far.
Okay, they've gone far. All right, let's take this story from Syria. It's a sorry one. If eventually he's still going, as investigation is still going on concerning Super Eagles goalkeeper Maduka Okoye. Now, Udinese, his team immediately has removed his name from the players list, the registered player. Now, while the investigation is still going amid a betting scandal which he is involved in.
Yeah, typically is one thing with brands. When they try to protect their brand, they would exclude you from whatever they are doing until the investigation is finalized. When there is a conclusive outcome, they would now look at everything and see if they want to bring you back into the team. I feel so sorry for him, and I really hope that whatever they are looking at this moment, that he won't be found guilty.
Okay, he will be found guilty for Maduka Okoye. He's already out injured with a wrist problem. But let's see. He was yellow carded in that particular game, and it was predicted that he will be yellow carded, and indeed actually got a yellow card in that game for time wasting, and that now is not causing issue for the Nigerian Super Eagles goalkeeper. Now let's go straight to the UEFA Champions League game tonight. Canis, I know you're still happy for what Barcelona did last night, but I love your analysis this morning. You actually spread it out for Benfica. They would have won that game if that penalty was given to Benfica. But it is what it is. We know that normally the big boys in Europe, big teams, normally somehow find a way of getting favors from the referees. But that aside, let's look at the fixtures for tonight. The UEFA Champions League match, the 7th continuation of games tonight. We'll take them one after the other, and then we'll pick some of the big games. We'll have RB Leipzig. They'll be at home in Germany against Sporting CP of Portugal. Shakhtar the Donetsk of Ukraine will also play at home against Brest. AC Milan at the San Siro welcomes Spanish team Girona. Arsenal will be at the Emirates to entertain Dynamo Zagreb, who are out of the Champions League. That is that for Dynamo. Celtic against Young Boys. Feyenoord, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG will be at Parc des Princes to welcome Manchester City. Two teams, the two of them actually needs a win tonight if they are to progress. For Real Madrid also, they needs a win against Salzburg. They'll be at the Santiago Bernabeu, while Sparta Prague of Czech entertains Inter Milan. Now, let's look at this first game. Quickly, PSG, Manchester City, that is our focal point on the games tonight before we extra one or two games that will be coming up tonight. But for PSG and Manchester City, it's a must-win game for both of them. If we can have the table in the morning, we'll have that table in the morning. If we can have it back on the screen and look at where Manchester City and PSG are and their points and what this game tonight actually mean for both teams.
Yeah, PSG just 1 point. Shy Man City seated at I think 24th position and PSG at 26th position with a difference of 1 point. 8 for Man City, 7 for PSG. It's really going to be a cracker for them. It's like a final, and they'll be locking horns. I see PSG. I see Man City, coming on top of that game. Not particularly because I have a thing against PSG, but I feel Manchester City has been able to strike a balance. Having had a difficult run, they've come out of that stronger, and they at this point I feel they've tested what it feels to be so down. And looking at the previous games that they've played, the confidence might have grown over time. So I do not know how PSG won to do that, but I would be very surprised if PSG wins that game.
Okay, because we also have a coach who has coached Barcelona before, who's now the coach of PSG. Do you think both coaches knows each other from Spain somehow? And then apart when Pep Guardiola left Spain, he took over and he's in England now, in France. What do you think that is going to happen between the two coaches? This game tonight boils down to tactics and experience of both coaches.
Yeah, I think what Man City, what Pep Guardiola does that Luis Enrique is not so big on is that as with time, Pep Guardiola got so interested in how he set up his defense. He's interested in the kind of profiles he wants to use in his defense. He uses very, very physical people, tall, duelists, people that can, when they engage in duels, they will come out on top. And I can't say that about Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is still very much interested in offensive defenders. You can see Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, who are still very much his fullbacks. And when you look at his defensive midfield, so you see he doesn't really have people who are intentional about duels. He had Ugarte, but he ended up letting Ugarte go to Manchester United. So I think that's the advantage Manchester City might have over PSG. That ability, to win the ball back when you lose it.
Okay, that ability to win the ball back when you lose it. Now, let's have the fixture back on the screen quickly. The other games tonight, let's have the fixtures back. Let's look at Real Madrid, Salzburg. Real Madrid also, they are struggling in the UEFA Champions League this season.
That's a surprising one, but we all know Real Madrid, they have character, and these are the type of games they love to play. When they leave it till late time, I think adrenaline is always high and they end up winning games like this. It would be no surprise if Real Madrid qualifies from this stage, goes into the next stage, and you find them in the finals of the UEFA Champions League. We've seen this movie a lot of times, and that is why they've won the most UEFA Champions League, and they are by far the best team in the world when you start looking at history. So 3 points for Real Madrid, I would say, and I see them winning this game and also winning away to Brest in their next game.
Okay, Arsenal Dynamo.
Fash, what do you want me to say? That game sets itself. It's going to be a shocker if Arsenal doesn't win. I mean, Dynamo is traveling to Arsenal, and Arsenal wants to win that game because they still want to be. They want. I don't think they've qualified. I'm not sure if we can see the table now, but I know they want to be in the top 8 so that they will avoid playing they want to be involved in the playoffs. So I don't know how Dynamo Zagreb is going to do it. Arsenal should win that game.
Okay, Arsenal should win that game. Now, back to PSG game. What's your scoreline prediction for that game?
I would say. Remind me, who's home?
PSG's at home.
PSG's home?
Yeah.
PSG is home. Oh, I would say 2-1 to Man City.
2-1 to Man City, for Man City to win away. All right.
Yeah.
Let's leave the UEFA Champions League and quickly look at this game. We'll still come back to that just one more time before we go away from the show. The Europa League game, there's one game tonight, and one game was played last night where Victor Osimhen is not really happy with his teammates after they threw away 3-goal lead, and that game ended on a draw note. Let's have the result of that game played last night and then the game of today. Galatasaray, like you heard, played a 3-3 draw with Dynamo Kiev of Ukraine at home. But for tonight, Besiktas will take on Athletic Bilbao, that is from Spain. And for Besiktas, quickly, Canis, they now have a new coach, former Manchester United coach, that is Ole, the babyface assassin, they call him, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who is now in charge of Besiktas.
Given what we know, he didn't win a trophy at Manchester United, but he was always there. We saw him. He arrived at the UEFA Europa League finals. He finished second, I think, once, and he's got the experience. And as at the time he was at Manchester United, they were still struggling, so he was able to be in that dressing room with those big profiles, and now he's at Besiktas. I have a feeling that Ole is going to do very well at Besiktas.
Okay.
But in this particular game, given how Athletic Bilbao has been competing and how good they've been, they are currently at the top of the Europa League. I don't see Besiktas winning that one.
Okay, let's leave the Europa League and quickly look at some NBA results. Quickly, games were played earlier as of this morning. The biggest franchise, they call it. Let's just take a run through the results of the game. Portland Trail Blazers defeated Miami Heat 116 to 107 points. The New York Knicks defeated Brooklyn Nets by just 4 points, 99 to 95 points, 95 points for the Nets. Orlando Magic lost to Toronto Raptors 93 points to 109 for Raptors. Philadelphia 76ers also lost their court to Denver Nuggets, 144 points for the Nuggets against 76ers 109. And the LA Lakers blew away the Washington Wizards, 111 points for the Lakers, and the Wizards only managed 88 points. And quickly, we'll take just one transfer. It is the MPF transfer this evening, where Sunshine Stars have signed Buhari Aziz on loan. Yes, they are beefing up that team for for the second stanza, which kicks off this weekend. And then one news coming in from the German Bundesliga is that after that they lost that game last night, Borussia Dortmund now have sacked their head coach Norin Sahin over poor performance. Well, let's see where he goes from there. And then we have a boxing story this evening quickly, where the organizers have set that is May for Ajagba Bankole, the Congolese fighter. That is the IBF elimination bout for May. So we'll be seeing our own Efe Ajagba, who's now ranked among the heavyweight boxers in the world, facing the Congolese Martin Bakole in an international boxing federation title, that is eliminator title bout. And quickly, Canis, whoever wins this fight face Daniel Dubois. Just in 20 seconds, react to it quickly, Canis.
Well, we want we want our guy to go and knock him out. We want to see him remain where he is and also grow from there. So we'll all be cheering him on, and we're hoping to see him win.
Okay, whoever wins that fight, like I said, face Daniel Dubois. And then the last story, one man is happy now, starting 2025 with another team. That is Sir Lewis Hamilton, 7 times world champion. Wow, massive one. He toppled the great shoemaker in the world of Formula One. All right, that is where we'll be leaving it on the show Sports Update this evening. Thanks to you, Kindness, for coming up on the show. And we look forward to the game you predicted, City 2-1 against PSG.
All right, Fash, let's see how that plays out. Thanks for having me.
All right, that is it on the program Sports Update. I am Emmanuel Fashimi. Say thanks for watching.